Good evening and welcome to another edition of Mic'd Up. Louisiana prepares for their first road trip of the season as they head to Houston to face Rice. To preview the matchup, Cajuns Sideline reporter Cody Junot joins us. Cody, thanks so much for coming on.
Absolutely, Seth. Glad to be here.
So Cody, let's start with focusing on UL. The Cajuns have started the season 2-0 to extend their nation-leading win streak to 15 in a row. What's impressed you the most about the Cajuns so far?
Well, they've won both of those games in two very different ways. You go back to that opener against Southeastern Louisiana 2 weeks ago at home. Cajuns come out, they start fast, and then the defense kind of carried them, through the rest of that ball game. Conversely, last weekend, Eastern Michigan comes to town. The Cajuns offense gets off to a dreadfully slow start. They find themselves down 14-0 at the break. But then all of a sudden, the offense responds and, ends up reeling off 7 touchdowns, and the Cajuns walk away in a laughter. So the Cajuns, what's impressed me is the resiliency that we've seen, which is we've seen from this program now over the last 4 or 5 years, is they're never out of any ball game, but they've won a number of different ways. So that's one thing that's impressed me. But then two, I think Lamar Morgan's defense, right? 7 takeaways on the season. And I say takeaways, not turnovers. And so that Cajun defense has really impressed me, the way they've been able to get to the football and take the football away. And that's going to be a key for this team moving forward.
Now, at quarterback, Chandler Fields earned his first 2 starts of the season, and obviously we've got to see a little bit of Ben Wooldridge, too. Just give me your evaluation of the Cajuns' QB situation so far.
Yeah, look, Mike Desimo touched upon it this week, right, in his weekly meeting with the media. It's going to continue to be a quote 2 quarterback system for Louisiana moving forward, and we've seen the offense kind of respond to both games. I think the argument can be made that Chandler played better in week 1, not that Ben played bad, but that Ben played better in week 2. And Chandler, I think, got off to a little bit of a slow start, but then eventually came around and was able to use that right arm of his to throw some touchdown passes. Again, so the offense is responding to both of these quarterbacks. For me, right, it's consistency. Again, continue to take care of the football, which they've done a good job of. And like everybody, just consistent play, making the right decisions, right? That's one thing that really stood out to me, specifically when Ben Woolridge was in charge of the offense on Saturday. You saw him check out of a number of runs and throw the corner was playing off, take the quick 4 or 5 yards. And, that's what Mike Desimo told me coming out of the break Saturday. He said, we got to just stay in front of the chains.
Now, when it comes to this week, they're facing a Rice team that's 1-1. They have a blowout loss to USC, and then they have a blowout win over McNeese. So what is your take on Rice, and what do you feel like it's going to take for the Cajuns to go into Houston and get a win?
Well, that's just it, right? Who is this Rice Owl team? Who's this Rice Owl program, right? It's a Conference USA program that has traditionally kind of struggled, given the academics required for the university, right? And it's really hard to get football and student athletes in general in. And so the question I have is, who is this Rice team? A team that gave the ball away against USC, or a team that took the ball away against McNeese, right? For me, Saturday's more about Louisiana. Can the Cajuns come out and play 4 consistent quarters? It's something we haven't seen from this team yet, and really run the football, right? Something else that we touched upon earlier. Come out, establish the run, and dominate there in the trenches. That's really what I'm most interested in seeing on Saturday.
That's Cody Junot, Cajuns Sideline reporter. Cody, thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely, Seth. Anytime, bud.